"Have a good reputation," Largo said. "People up there seem to like him, say he's honest, takes care of his relatives." That was the ultimate compliment for a Navajo. The worst insult was to say he acted like he didn't have any relatives. In Navajo country, families come first. Chee wanted to ask Largo why he had learned so much about an old man who kept to himself high in the Chusca Mountains. As Largo had said, the Gorman shooting was an FBI case, white man business completely outside the jurisdiction of the Navajo tribal police. Instead of asking, he waited. He'd worked for Largo 2 years, first at the Tuba City sub-agency and now here at Shiprock. Largo would tell him exactly what Largo wanted him to know, and all at Largo's own pace. Chee knew very little about the tragédie, only that the Turkey people were one of the smallest of the 60 or so Navajo clans. If Begay's aunt was the clan's An-I, its matriarch, judge, fountain of wisdom, then his was a most respected family, and he would certainly know enough of the Navajo way to properly prepare a kinsman for burial. "Gorman was a son of Begay's youngest sister," Largo said. "The Bureau of Indian Affairs relocated a bunch of that clan in Los Angeles in the 1940s and 50s. In fact, Begay seems to have been among the few of that outfit that didn't go. I think one of his daughters also stayed. Lived over around Borrego Pass, dead now, and a few tragédiens are supposed to have moved over to the Canyoncito reservation. But the clan doesn't amount to much anymore." Largo walked to the window and stood, back to Chee, inspecting the weather in the parking lot. "We've got a girl missing from St. Catherine Indian School," Largo said. "Probably a runaway. Probably nothing much." The captain exercised the storyteller's pause for effect. "She's the granddaughter of Hostine Begay. Told a friend she was worried about him. The nuns at St. Catherine called the police there at Santa Fe because they said she wasn't the type that runs away. Whatever type that is." Largo paused again, still looking at something or other in the parking lot. "Attended her morning classes on the 14th. Didn't show up for classes after lunch." Chee didn't comment. The bloody business in the parking lot had happened the night of the 11th. On the 12th, old man Begay had walked into the Two Gray Hills trading post, bought his futile bottle of aspirin, and mailed a letter. How long would it take a letter to get from Two Gray Hills to Santa Fe? 2 days? Largo walked back to his desk, found a package of cigarettes in the drawer, and lit one. "The other thing," he said through the cloud of blue smoke, "is the FBI is unusually uptight about this one, very grim. So I did some asking around. It turns out one of their old-timers got killed a couple of months ago, like I told you. He was on something that ties in with this business." Largo turned away from his parking lot inspection to gaze at Chee. "You've been a cop long enough to know how it is when a cop gets killed." "I've heard," Chee said. "Well, anyway, they never want us interfering in their jurisdiction. So think how sore they'd get if it happened when they've got an agent dead and nobody to hang it on." "Yeah," Chee said. "Unfortunately," Largo said, "you're the logical one to handle this missing St. Catherine girl." Chee let that pass. What Largo meant was that he had a reputation for being nosy. He couldn't deny it. "You want me to be careful," Chee said. "I want you to turn on the brain," Largo said. "See if you can pick up the girl. If you run into anything that bears on what happened to Gorman, then you back off. Tell me, I tell Sharkey, everybody's happy." "Yes, sir," Chee said. Largo stood by the window looking at him. "I really mean it," he said. "No screwing around." "Yes, sir," Chee said.